Good morning, everyone. This is Silpreet Kaur, your social science teacher. Today, we will have a quick revision of the chapter resources. Now, if we talk about resources, resource is anything that can be used to satisfy a need of a human being. For example, water, rickshaw, electricity, bus, textbooks, plant, animals, and anything that exists in the environment and it is useful for the mankind is a resource. Resources can be classified into three parts. Means there are three types of resources: natural resource, human-made resource, and human resources. Natural resource, as the name suggests, is a resource that is that are drawn from nature and used without much modification. For example, water, air, and soil. Human-made resource means those resources that are made by human beings, like technology, bridges, roads, and machineries, are called human-made resources. And human resources means people themselves are very useful resource because they use their knowledge and skill and their ability to develop other resources. Human resource development helps in improving the quality of people's skill so that they are able to create more resources. So these are the type of resources broadly classified. Now if we talk about natural resource, it is further classified on the various bases. If we talk about level of development, it is actual and potential. On the basis of origin, it is biotic and abiotic. On the basis of stock availability or say renewability, means whether can be renewed or not, it is renewable and non-renewable. Next come on the basis of distribution, it is ubiquitous and localized. Next, on the basis of level of development and use, I have written this so that in this way, so that you can you are able to answer it as a differentiation between potential resource and actual resource as well. Now, if we talk about potential resource, these are the resources that are not used in current, that are not being used currently. A potential resource can prove useful and become an actual resource in the future. Means we know that there is a uranium deposit in Ladakh, but we are not able to use it due to the lack of technology. Next comes actual resources. Actual resources is one which we use currently. An actual resource might have been a potential resource in the past, and it may end up in the future if we use continuously without proper care. For example, coal deposits, petroleum deposits. We know that where they are found in our country, and we are using it because we are having proper technology for that. Next come origin. On the basis of origin, it is biotic and abiotic. Biotic resources include all the living organism on the earth, that is flora, fauna. These all are called biotic resources. Human beings are also biotic resources. Abiotic resources are non-living things that are used by human beings. Example, soil, sunlight, rock, minerals. Next come on the basis of distribution, it is ubiquitous. It means that is those resources that are found all over the world. Its presence is not governed by physical condition. For example, air means air is available all around the world and it is not governed by physical condition. Next comes localized resources. Localized, as the name suggests, means local resource. So those resources which is found in a particular region or physical condition are localized resources. Its presence is governed by physical conditions of that particular area. Means some kind of minerals are found in specific area because of its natural environment because of a natural environment of that area. That's why all minerals are not available everywhere. On the basis of stock availability, it is renewable and non-renewable. Renewable resources are those which get renewed or replenished quickly. Some of these are unlimited and are not affected by human activities, such as solar energy and wind energy. They are also known as non-conventional resources. If we talk about non-renewable resources, these are those which have a limited stock. Means once the stock are exhausted, it may take thousands of years to get renewed and replenished, such as coal, petroleum, and natural gas. That's why we should use them wisely. They are also known as conventional resources. Now, glossary words are given in your book that we are going to discuss today. First word is patent. It means the exclusive right over any idea or invention. Actually, patent gives you the right to stop someone else for making, using, or selling your invention without your permission. Take an example that if you make a phone under the name XYZ and you get it patent, so no one else can make the same kind of phone under the same name without your permission. If you give the permission to that person, then he or she can use XYZ name for his own product. Okay. Next comes technology. It is the application of latest knowledge and skill in doing or making things. It means that we are using the latest knowledge and skill for making the things better. You can take example of tablet computers or smartphones that are that using a latest technology, it is changing day by day. Next comes stock of resources. Stock means the amount of resources available for us, means how much stock we have. If we talk about resources, then we can classify it as renewable and non-renewable resources. Means non-renewable resources are in the limited stock, and renewable resources are an unlimited stock, so that we can use it accordingly. नेक्स्ट कम सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट मीन्स सस्टेन करने लायक, जिससे हम भी जिएँ और आगे आने वाली जनरेशन भी ईज़िली अपनी नीड्स को फुलफ़िल कर सके. सो इट रिक्वायर्स carefully utilizing resources so that besides meeting the requirements of the present, also take care of the future generation, so that we can use it and we can fulfill our needs, but we should take care of the future generation also, and that's known as sustainable development. Means taking care, fulfilling the present requirement and taking care of the future generation also. Next come human resources. Means it refers to the number and abilities of the peoples. Means number means how much quantity of you have in your organization, and the ability means it includes their mental and physical ability, that how they are using. Not all the humans have mental ability only, but some of the workers, you can say, they use their physical abilities, so they are also very useful human resource for us. Next, answer the following questions. Some questions are given in your notebook, in your book, that we are going to discuss here. First question is, why are resources distributed unequally over the earth? You all know that earth is a unique planet. It has different physical features like terrains, climate, altitudes. It is not plain on the whole. So distribution of resources depend upon the number of physical factors like terrain, climate, and altitude. Since these factors differ so much over the earth, the distribution of resources is unequal. Means distribution of resources depends on the physical feature of the earth. As the physical features differs at different parts of the earth, so the distribution of resources is also differs. That's why it is unequal on all over the earth. Next come, what is resource conservation? Means using resource carefully and giving them time to get renewed is called a resource conservation. We should not just use a resource carelessly, or we should not use overuse the present available resources. We should give them some time to get renewed. In other words, saving the resource for the future generation is called resource conservation. Next comes, Why are human resource important? You all know that humans are the only resource available on the earth that make all the other resources useful. People are the human resource, and human resource are important because they can make the best use of nature to create more resources by applying knowledge, skill and technology. That's why human resources are very very important for us. Next come, what is sustainable development? Just we have read about this and resource conservation. Resource conservation is actually a part of sustainable development, or it is actually the step for the sustainable development. It includes balancing the need to use resources and also conserve them for the future generation. In other words, carefully utilizing resources so that beside meeting the present requirement, it also take care of the need of future generation is called sustainable development. This we have already discussed. We can take a simple example of water. We know that we should save water. If we keep using it carelessly or in abundant manner, uh, then it may then in future it may not be available for the future generation. So we should make a proper and careful use of water. We so in that manner that we can fulfill our basic needs also, and it will remain for the future generation use also. Next, at the last, sustainable development. Again, it is a development that meets the need of present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. This is the definition, proper definition given in your book. Next come, conservation of resources lead to the sustainable development that we have discussed right now. Next, the future of our planet and its people is linked with our ability to maintain and preserve the life support system that nature provides. Therefore, it's our duty that all uses of renewable resources are sustainable, means we should use renewable resources in a sustainable manner, carefully and wisely. Diversity of life on the earth is conserved. It's our duty to take care of the diversity of life on the earth, and we should conserve it also. And the damage of natural environmental system is minimized. We should carefully use everything that so that it may harm natural environment, but it should be at the minimum level. This is it for the chapter. I think it is clear to all. All the best for your test. Thank you. God bless you all.